If there's one thing we've come to understand on this channel, it's that the internet is a place like no other. An odd mix of creativity, chaos, and sometimes outright disturbing behavior. However, the person we're about to cover in today's video is one of the worst cases of things gone too far. Today we're diving into the story of someone whose actions represent the worst side of the internet. This is not just another weird internet lolcow. No. This is Little QB, and he is a very strong believer that age is just a number. The more you look at this scary, demonic, fake religious preacher, the more you'll realize that he has completely lost any sense of right from wrong. He's known for doing some of the most disgusting things you would have ever heard of.
Attracted to people your age, and B, they probably see through your which is why they don't like you, and younger people are more naive and don't know much about the world. You feel me?
Yeah, that's why I want a younger woman, because she's naive.
I said I guess the lowest possible age that I can conceive upon would be that.
Would be 16, right? Like if they were in Alabama?
Yeah.
Okay. And I just have...
I said it like that too, the lowest possible age that I could imagine.
Right. Okay. 1 point.
She's trying to hit on me, I knew it.
And if you think this is bad, trust us that you will start questioning your very existence the more you look at this creepy predator, because all the things that we just mentioned are merely the tip of the iceberg. So buckle in as we take a deep dive into the life of TikTok's most insane predator, Little QB. Consider yourself lucky if you've never heard of this mentally unstable and highly disturbing individual, because what you're about to see might just make you question everything you thought you knew about internet weirdos, and potentially cost you a few brain cells in the process. For those of you clicking on this video without any prior knowledge, let me introduce you to the infamous QB. QB is a self-proclaimed religious preacher and TikTok creator who, despite his claims of righteousness, holds some of the most bizarre and deeply questionable beliefs you'll ever come across. From his controversial statements to his unsettling behavior, QB has managed to build a reputation as one of TikTok's most problematic creators, and not for the reasons.
It's upon how you measure time. So it's socially constructed just like...
So do you believe you can change your age, like you can change your gender?
I identify as forever 21 because I have age dysphoria and I don't like getting old.
So if 60-year-old men decide to identify as a 6-year-old, you're okay with that?
Well, no, this would be in the idea of general surround...
I'm sorry, I know I clear my throat at this.
Yeah,
this is
you
what
get
I
one
do.
chance. Courtney, you could deal with this. Mute your mic when you're not speaking.
Not only are his beliefs and opinions completely outrageous, and let's not forget downright criminal, but he also has a knack for justifying them in the most baffling ways imaginable. Whether he's cherry-picking religious verses to suit his twisted narrative, or throwing around pseudo-biological evidence that defies all logic, his arguments make sense to no one but himself. What's even more disturbing is his unwavering confidence, as if his warped reasoning somehow validates his actions. But make no mistake, these justifications are as flimsy as they are dangerous.
Soren Kierkegaard, the father of existentialism, suggested that rather than try to prove the existence of God, we switch off our faulty rational thinking, or as he put it, to have faith is to lose one's mind and to win God. A leap of faith.
However, as hard as it may be to believe, Little QB wasn't always this way. His descent into the disturbing and outright horrifying persona he embodies today appears to have been a slow and gradual process. When we dug through his numerous TikTok accounts and YouTube channels, we discovered that there was a time when he seemed, well, normal. Or at least as normal as someone with his deeply troubling tendencies could ever be. Watching his older content, you could see a glimpse of a different version of him. In those early days, he was making vlogs, comedy skits, and collaborative videos with his then-girlfriend. There was no overt indication of the dark, predatory behavior that would later define him. Instead, he came across as an ordinary content creator who was just trying to entertain a small audience. It's unsettling to think how drastically things have changed over the years. In those old videos, he even managed to appear sane, something that's hard to reconcile with the chaotic and menacing individual we see today. Yet, looking back, you can't help but wonder if the signs of his troubling nature were always there, hiding just beneath the surface. It's almost eerie how someone who once seemed relatively harmless could devolve into the manipulative and dangerous figure he has become. Before we talk about anything else, let's have a look at exactly who Little QB is and what he was like before he started painting his face with black upside crosses. QB's real name is Brett, born in 1994, making him at least 30 years old today. Yet despite being a fully grown adult, he openly fantasizes about being with girls as young as 14 or 15, a horrifying reality that defies all sense of decency. What's even more unsettling is that he wasn't always like this, or at the very least, he did a disturbingly good job of hiding his true nature in the past. Looking back at his earlier online presence, Brett seemed like an average guy with a seemingly normal life. He had a girlfriend his own age and even created harmless skits and vlogs that showed no hint of the disturbing path he would later take. Somewhere along the line, though, everything changed. For all we know, Little QB has been lurking around the internet for quite some time, leaving a trail of his bizarre and disturbing content across multiple TikTok and YouTube accounts. His presence isn't new, and neither is his controversial behavior. From what we've uncovered, his internet journey began all the way back in 2007, when he started posting on his YouTube channel under the name ShinQBI. It was here that QB began sharing his peculiar worldview, posting videos that ranged from nonsensical rants to outright unsettling claims. Over the years, he's managed to reinvent himself across platforms, consistently dodging bans and criticisms while continuing to spread his questionable ideology. But no matter how many accounts he's created or how much he's tried to rebrand, one thing remains consistent: his deeply problematic beliefs. Little QB was very young when he started this initial channel. He would make random vlogs and anime videos on this channel. It also looks like he's always been interested in music. This is something that we've seen in almost all of his accounts up until now. He makes absurd and weird music videos that no one is really interested in. Moreover, while looking at his past videos, we came across this video captioned "First Live Performance in Front of Ursuline High School." At first glance, it seems like QB was just a regular kid with ordinary passions and even a hint of talent. Watching his early content, you might see glimpses of someone who enjoyed being in front of the camera, having fun, experimenting, and expressing himself. But as time passed, something changed. Slowly but surely, he began to drift away from the innocent energy of his youth, transforming into something far more sinister. Looking back, it's almost impossible to reconcile the cheerful kid we see in those early videos with the demonic predator he would eventually become. Yet here we are, unraveling a story that is bound to make your blood boil. How did this happen? What caused such a dramatic and disturbing transformation? Stick with us, because we're about to uncover the unsettling truth behind QB's dark evolution. After this initial channel, QB made another account in 2008 called X44Warhawk44X.
Hey, what's up, guys? Thank you to all who just subscribed to Jackal Unleashed, that new channel, for those of you who don't know. It's at 17 subscribers, I think, right now. 25 is the next goal. Just really had fun doing that weird Pokemon Go thing. I just, thought of the, few lines one day, and I'm like, I want to make a stupid video about this and look really dumb for fun. So that was cool. But the next thing I kind of want to do on that channel, I want to keep that pretty much to just shooting with my nice camera and stuff like that, videos more well.
If you have a look at some of the older videos posted on this channel, you'll realize that he used to make almost ordinary content. For whatever reason, he was super obsessed with 21 Pilot music covers, and he would constantly sing it. Now this, for us, was his sane era. He would just repeatedly sing bad music covers, which seemed pretty harmless, except for the fact that they would probably make your ears bleed. But apart from this, there was nothing about him that could suggest that he would one day unleash a fake Bible-loving philic creep onto this world. Moreover, his old YouTube content majorly comprised of vlogs with his ex-girlfriend, who, believe it or not, was not a teenager.
It makes it like us real dark. Just to walk around the barrel once.
They actually looked like a pretty normal couple recording their everyday activities and making some painfully cringe skits that were supposed to be for the entertainment of his audience, even though they really didn't serve that purpose.
I put my hand in bird poop, guys. It's so gross. It's so gross. It's so gross.
However, as you might have guessed, the fleeting period of almost normalcy didn't last very long. Little QB soon transformed into a figure straight out of a gruesome horror movie. From what we can piece together, it seems like this dark turn began during his relationship with an ex-girlfriend. Unfortunately, there's very little information available about her online. And honestly, that's for the best. We're not here to invade her privacy or dredge up details about someone who's already endured so much. This poor woman has probably been through enough, and it wouldn't be fair to shine a spotlight on her just because her ex-boyfriend spiraled into a disturbing predator. However, from what we have guessed, she looked like a sane and ordinary girl. But for some reason they broke up, and this appears to have sent Brett down a deep and dark hole, from which he had no return whatsoever. The reason for this breakup isn't very clear either, since most of his videos from that time had their comments turned off. However, now it's very clear why she broke up with Little QB. Besides, she wasn't really his type. As Brett said himself, he likes someone naive, young, and moldable. Yes, these are the words he has consistently used to describe his ideal woman. Just see for yourself.
I met somebody that was, like for instance, someone lied and they said they were 18, didn't know how much they actually were. Right, then I would continue talking to them for a few years. And let's say we lived in Alabama, and then they couldn't maintain their perpetual, maybe then I would. How's that not okay? It's illegal in Alabama. I was just trying to give you any real far outlier. I don't think that's gonna happen. And most of the other guys feel this way too. They're just too afraid to actually speak about it. Just so you understand. You probably just think it's weird because once again, a guy's not gonna let you into the inner workings. I'm really shocked right now. Of course you are. I'm 29.
Would be 16, right? Like if they were in Alabama.
Yeah.
1, I said what I said. 2, you gotta understand, you gotta get it through your head. 3, what am I gonna do next? I'm gonna put it right through you. 4, yeah, I'm not gonna tell you what's in store. 5, let's get alive. 6, yeah, see what we're gonna do. 6, let's get a quick fix. So what did I say here, right? I'm not trying to jeer, I'm not trying to leer, I'm not trying to make you steer in the wrong direction. I said that the lowest age that I could conceive of marrying would be 16 if I was in Alabama because it is legal there. I also said I would want a younger wife to be able to mold her because God made us out of the ground. We are clay, so mold her into a godly woman with her family. That's what I meant.
As you can clearly see in this clip, he has some distorted and disgusting views about what the age of consent should be. He also openly admits that he would go to Alabama and get married to an underage girl. And this is not even half of what he has said during his many disturbing live streams. He also said that he likes them fully developed and nearly identical to an adult woman. If this isn't the most daunting thing you have seen uttered by any 29-year-old guy, then we are not sure what is.
You have to at least be 14/15 to be on the low side of nearly identical to or identical to an adult woman. I like them if they're fully developed or appear nearly identical to someone who's a fully developed person. So like I said, knowing that, plus a year or two of having to know them before wanting to get married, I would say maybe 16. I think 16 is the age of marriage in Alabama. That's the lowest age in America, maybe.
One of the most disturbing aspects of QB's live streams is the demographic of his audience. Alarmingly, many of his moderators and viewers are underage children. This is not only highly inappropriate, but also raises serious concerns about the environment he's fostering online. These young, impressionable viewers are exposed to his twisted beliefs and harmful rhetoric in real time, with no safeguards in place to protect them. To make matters worse, QB has openly claimed that most men likely share his reprehensible feelings, but are simply too afraid to admit it. This isn't just a disgusting statement, it's an insidious attempt to normalize his predatory behavior and justify his actions. By framing his vile opinions as something universal, he's creating a dangerous narrative for his young and impressionable audience, many of whom lack the critical thinking skills to challenge his views. What makes this even more harmful is how he leverages his platform to present these ideas as if they're valid and acceptable, sowing seeds of confusion and potential manipulation among his viewers. In doing so, he's not only spreading misinformation, but also actively contributing to a culture where such dangerous behavior is trivialized or even excused. There have been many incidents where he's allowed underage girls as young as 14 in his live chats and even answered their questions.
Sorry that I let you up here.
Hi.
Hi, how old are you?
I'm 13. I just thought I would join and say I love your eyeshadow.
Thank you very much. If you have any other questions, let us know from the chat. You do got to be up here. Also, that accent. Where was that? Scotland? Was that Scottish accent? That was super rare accent. Thank you so much. Yeah, you got to be 18 to come up and join. But you're welcome to stay and ask questions in the chat. I'll try my best to answer them. Dr. No will try to get you up here.
And if you think this is bad, you are mistaken. This guy's crossed all limits and boundaries with his vile actions. He has also exposed himself numerous times during live streams. Keep in mind that his live stream is filled with underage people. We actually stumbled upon a video on Reddit that sheds some light on QB's behavior. A creator known as 11 Butterflies shared a clip from one of QB's live streams, and what we saw was incredibly revealing. During the stream, a young girl confronted him about a disturbing incident involving someone named Riley. As soon as the conversation turned to this sensitive topic, QB immediately shut down his live stream, cutting off the discussion without hesitation.
Do you know a girl named Riley?
Why are you asking me that? Explain further.
She told me that you exposed yourself on something yesterday. I don't know if it's true or not. I wasn't here yesterday. I was just out. Oh, and she said you're not meant show.
So if you didn't hear that, she said, do you know a girl named Riley? She told me that you exposed yourself to her yesterday. And then he goes, oh, and cut his live off immediately. Then he set his account to private. That's up. This type of behavior is the reason that this app gets the bad reputation that it has. Now, apparently, people have reported him numerous times.
This reaction speaks volumes. Instead of addressing the concerns raised by the viewer, he opted for a cowardly retreat, likely to avoid any accountability or further questions. It's clear that when his actions are called into question, he's more interested in silencing the truth than confronting the consequences of his behavior. However, this wouldn't be the first time he exhibited this kind of behavior. As we dig deeper into QB's story, it becomes painfully clear that this is not an isolated incident, but rather part of a disturbing pattern he's cultivated over his twisted time on TikTok. Time and again, when confronted or called out for his actions, QB's response is predictably erratic. He consistently has meltdowns, lashing out at anyone who dares question him. In these moments, he doesn't attempt to engage in rational discourse or defend himself with facts. Instead, he resorts to calling everyone a liar, dismissing any criticism as baseless and false.
What are you going to say? Me calling her 70 times was inappropriate too? Now you got my dad getting on my case because I'm going to wake my mom up, huh? Right? You really, oh yeah.
But it doesn't stop there. QB's rants often escalate into violent outbursts, where he tries to forcefully assert that he's done nothing wrong. These rants serve two purposes: to manipulate his audience into siding with him and to intimidate anyone who might speak out against him. He attempts to rewrite the narrative by presenting himself as the victim, all while refusing to take responsibility for the damage he's caused. This toxic behavior has become a hallmark of his online persona, and it's evident that whenever his actions are questioned, his immediate response is to deflect, deny, and dominate the conversation with aggression. It's a cycle that keeps repeating itself, and each time it happens, it only reinforces the dangerous influence he wields over his audience. He also once exchanged numbers with an underage girl who was 17. Then when things blew up and her mom started calling him out for being a pedophile, he went on this crazy rant, acting like he's lost any little shred of sanity that he formerly possessed.
I don't know what to do. This woman is calling me a P3DO and saying horrible things about me in the background of her live because she says that I did something. Here's my entire thread with her daughter that she's trying to say that I somehow victimized. She messages me. I say, I love your look. I gotta find the comment. Just found out my grandma died literally an hour before that. Are you okay? My grandma died a little bit ago. What's your phone number so we can text on there? I'm not really on TikTok. I put the number out, and then the mother's like, she has to have permission to give her number out. I just told this person my grandma just died, and they said my grandma died too. Why in that moment would I have had to think about, like, oh, I wonder how old this person is? Genuinely thought they were trying to show sympathy. Then they messaged me, you awake? Yeah, I'm just laying in bed. I sent a heart back because they sent a heart. I'm gonna text your number. I got it. Here's now the entire message thread. I have the entire message thread as well. I have to scroll through pretty far, right? You could, oh, come on.
But QB didn't stop there. He went on another live stream, desperately trying to justify his actions. In a rambling, non-stop tirade, he claimed that he did nothing wrong, that he didn't know the girl's age, and that it was the girl who messaged him first. This is the classic excuse people like QB always fall back on when confronted with their misconduct. And frankly, it's both nauseating and infuriating. The lack of accountability is staggering, and the sheer audacity to keep spinning the same tired defense is beyond frustrating.
There's another one.
Today was day 3 of the birthday bash giveaway. Make sure to join my live.
I asked for her age because someone else told me I was supposedly talking to a 17-year-old. So that was to ascertain if this is who they were talking about, because I was like, I'm not talking to anyone else at all. That's why I asked, to see if that number lined up with what the other person told me. Because I always do my due diligence. Isn't that why she reached out in the first place? Because of my grandma. What's this lady's TikTok? What's the mom's TikTok? What's the mom's TikTok? What's the mom's TikTok? I was just on there, but she wasn't letting me up because she knew I was going to prove her wrong. What's the mom's TikTok? You don't need to check an ID when they're coming up as a guest on the live. But from now on, if I have a private conversation with somebody, I'm asking them for their ID. And I also have removed any moderators that I found out were lying about being under 18. I've never had someone ask for my number of her grandparents. She said, what do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? You think I'm making up the message thread? People are calling me a P3DO, Sheila. Trying to ruin my character. Why am I talking this way? What? What? You're not innocent. What's the proof, NB? 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 She's not live anymore. I know. Because that's why she wouldn't let me up, because I was about to expose her. I wasn't upset when I talked to the police. I was very calmly telling them, no, I was making no threats on myself or anyone else. People are harassing me, calling me, saying that they're going to attack me, saying to lock my doors. So I told them I'll defend myself. There's no accountability to be taken. This is a nothing burger. I got lied to. I got lied to. I yelled at my dad because you were harassing me, stalking me, and cyberbullying me to the point that I knew if I showed any sign of weakness or that I did not have full authority over the live stream, you would eat me alive. I went out afterwards and apologized, but I had to shut him down in that moment to maintain the air of authority. I apologized after. You haven't showed any proof. Show me proof. Okay, who in the chat thinks that I disproved that what Mia's mom is saying, that her daughter's a victim? She's saying my daughter needs permission for her to give out my number because she's not old enough yet. She asked me for my number. So I didn't even ask for her number. I didn't even ask for her number. She gave it out. She gave it out because they're saying, yeah. That was her mom's only argument. Her mom on her live stream literally said, wow, in my state, they have to have parental consent to give out their number.
It's absurd how, according to him, he's always the victim instead of it being the other way around. On top of this, he also has the audacity to justify his actions by saying that he only talked the talk because his grandmother had just died. As if this is the reason enough to talk to underage girls. And this isn't the only time he's done it either. Remember when we said that he has a mod team and most of the members of this mod team actually consist of underage people? The thing is that he actually didn't need someone to moderate his chats. He probably contacted all of these underage girls from his YouTube live chats just because he wanted to prey on these young individuals. And things became very clear when his messages with one of his mod members were leaked on TikTok. Not only was he inappropriately talking to these minors, but he was also sending pictures to them. But guess what? Instead of facing the consequences of what he did, he went into a full-blown rage. He appeared on live to violently threaten the victim, acting as if he was the one who was being wronged in this entire situation. Before I continue watching, here is a little disclaimer. What we're about to show you might be a little triggering for some people, so if you don't want to see this, you're free to skip ahead. But if you want an actual glimpse of what this person is capable of, and get a grasp of his irrational and downright scary behavior, then you're welcome to keep watching.
You don't want to get harassment charges? Me get harassment What? 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 Me? 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 Get harassment charges? Are you kidding me? That was a hilarious joke. That was funny. She's committing multiple felonies. Please, I'll go, please. I'd love to talk to a judge about it. Yeah, no, they doxed me. They're the ones that did the illegal. They played under the table. I'm not doing anything illegal. I even muted my mic. When I was saying her number, I muted the mic as quickly as I could. Oh! Couldn't just leave me alone. You couldn't just leave me alone. Yeah. I'm gonna show you this set I'm gonna do, and I just want you to know that all the energy that I put out of the set, I wish that it wasn't push-ups. You little... Shut up! Shut up! Get away from me! You shut up! Shut up! Get away from me! Shut up! Get away from me! Don't talk. You don't come into my space. Shut up! Don't talk! Seriously, don't get into this. You don't know what you're dealing with. You see, now you got my dad getting on my case because I'm gonna wake my mom up, huh? Right? You really, oh yeah. All right, my mother. Oh!
The way QB behaved during that live stream was nothing short of insane. There's really no other word to describe it. He came across as a maniac, completely losing control of his actions and words. His wild, erratic energy only made the situation more uncomfortable and unsettling. But in our view, this wasn't a loss of control at all. It was a calculated attempt to intimidate, to put on a show and impose his dominance. By acting out of control, he hoped to strike fear into his viewers, to make them believe he was unpredictable and dangerous. It was a deliberate tactic to manipulate the narrative, force his audience into submission, and deflect any accountability. He wasn't just acting crazy, he was trying to control the situation, all while hiding behind this chaotic persona. Another disturbing thing we want to highlight is how little QB takes pride in the chaos he's created. He revels in the attention, the drama, and the backlash, essentially feeding off every bit of destruction he's left in his wake. It's as if he thrives on being the center of controversy, no matter the cost. In fact, we were unfortunate enough to stumble upon a clip where he openly brags about the personality he's built for himself on social media, as if his toxic influence is something to be proud of. He's not just stirring the pot, he's intentionally crafting his image around negativity and scandal, showing just how little regard he has for the harm he causes.
I think right now is the reason why people do not.
The reason why they do that is because they're.
Here I see right now is why people do not like the LGBT community.
Literally get the out of here and straight. Let her talk. No. Do what I want when I want it. Just like I said to the police, I screamed at his face.
Okay, just a disclaimer, this live is for educational purposes only. This live is about civil discourse. We don't tolerate homophobia, transphobia, or heterophobia, or any of the phobias or isms. So, with that, continue debating.
Yeah. What she said.
I have one more question.
Respect trans people. I will say that no, I respect trans people.
But how could you respect them if you're excluding them from your dating pool when to respect them would to see them as women, right? So then they should be in your dating pool. So you actually don't respect them if they're not in your dating pool as a straight man with no reason or experience to dictate why you have that preference. Check.
Okay, but I never said anything.
One at a time. One at a time.
Rush out.
Now, speak. You literally guys have the worst timing.
I never said anything about excluding trans people from my dating pool, bro.
What are they talking about? Do you agree or disagree? Dude, yank everybody. Yank everybody. That's it. Off. How about that? There you go. How about that? There you go, guys. Now you get the Courtney QB show. How's that sound? Nobody except another guest. Follow me if you haven't yet. You were waiting to talk? Get in line!
It's really infuriating to see this guy talk about himself like he's an infamous dude on TikTok with countless backup accounts, because he wouldn't stop talking about downright criminal things online. And to think that you're a victim after saying so many wrong things is just unbelievable. After behaving like a demonic maniac on live streams, he comes online and says it's his trauma response.
What you said that you think that I did was actually just me using dark humor as a trauma response to receiving unsolicited photos, but they framed it as if the photos that I sent were unsolicited. But wait a second, no. I have witnesses showing that the woman in question here literally was telling me, oh, check Snap, Brett. Oh, check Snap. She knows I struggle with lust. She's also a married woman. Oh, check Snap, Brett. Then I go into chat. She's like, oh, I'm looking at my eyes only folder. So with that being said, she's teasing me into try to engage.
At this point, it's crystal clear that QB can never be held accountable for his actions because he refuses to even acknowledge them.
Yeah, I didn't threaten that at all. I actually never said any words. But if you want to keep defending your friends after they try to antagonize me, they weren't responding to a comment. Come on, man. Don't play me like that. She's been trying to antagonize me this whole time. You're going down too. Get ready.
Rather than face the consequences, he actively avoids any sense of responsibility. When people try to call him out, his response isn't to reflect or change. It's to escalate the situation and create even more drama. Take, for example, his creation of yet another TikTok account under the name Little Pet. This wasn't just some random act, it was calculated. It was a sinister move designed to mock and provoke his critics. By choosing such a controversial and provocative name, he made it abundantly clear that he was not interested in listening or changing. Instead, he thrives on pushing boundaries and antagonizing anyone who dares to challenge him. He said in one of his posts, "It isn't illegal to court a minor as long as there is no interaction. That's why there would be a period of supervised meeting during the courtship process from the parents if one party was younger." And this isn't his only absurd post. He actually said a lot of unbelievable things that any sane person cannot wrap his or her mind around. For example, when he used a long-deceased philosopher to defend pedophilia, he said Pythagoras believed that 10 was a perfect number. And as if all this wasn't enough, he also started to ask people for a $99 subscription fee in one of his live streams.
Gothic, I'm unprivating my account. in 4 minutes. Subscribe now if you need to, because there's only gonna be like a $99 option after 7:47. Chris R, why'd you say haha? Why'd you say haha? Why'd you say ha? Quick, Chris, why did you say haha? Let me know. You got this. Okay, you're on my side. I just had to check. I was getting ready to block you. All right, thanks you, Chris. Thank you. Shout out Chris. Big W Chris. Big W Chris. Okay, guys. You're not muted. I was muted. Okay.
Yes, he's saying that, yeah, absolutely.
I was muted.
He's on TikTok.
Well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because we already have the counterattack planned.
The unhingedness!
All right, let's go. That wasn't directed directly at you. It was directed at any of the haters or moles who are watching. Let's go, guys. 3 minutes. In 3 minutes, I'm turning off the subscriptions.
Little QB's problematic behavior doesn't stop at being creepy and predatory. He also exhibited deeply narcissistic and racist tendencies. Throughout his videos and live streams, he would casually throw around bizarre racial slurs and make disrespectful, offensive remarks without a second thought. It wasn't just an occasional lapse. This was a pattern of behavior that revealed how little regard he had for others. His blatant racism and consistent disrespect weren't just offensive. They painted a picture of someone who thrived on being divisive and hateful. He wasn't just predatory. He was a toxic individual on every imaginable level, showing no respect for basic human decency. Whenever little QB is caught doing something wrong, whether it's talking to an underage girl or being called out for his inappropriate behavior, he completely loses it. Instead of taking responsibility, he reacts with sheer aggression, threatening people, harassing them, and even doxing those who dare challenge him. This toxic pattern of retaliation has become a trademark of his online presence. One of the most disturbing examples of this behavior was during a particularly wild live stream, where he spent hours relentlessly harassing his ex-moderator. He repeatedly called her names, insulted her.
No, I didn't. I never did that. Who? I posted my Facebook account, my life. That's not doxing someone, that's holding someone accountable. You're a liar. She literally impersonated one of my moderators, changed keywords, was unblocking people when I was blocking people. She committed a felony, aggravated person impersonation. I was holding her accountable. What are you gonna say, me calling her 70 times was inappropriate too? No. And speaking of which, I'll call her right now. Thank you for reminding me. Seriously, thank you. Impersonating one of my moderators as a moderator. She's on my moderator team. What do you mean she doesn't want to talk to me? That doesn't make sense, does it? No. If you're impersonating one of my moderators, that means you want to be on the team. Answer my call. I'm just seeing what, hopefully, her phone's probably dead. Hopefully her phone turns back on.
Your call has been...
Seriously, nobody's gonna gaslight me. What? She's harassing me! I'm trying to find out, why will you not stop harassing me? That's why I keep calling her. Why will you not stop harassing me? Literally, that's why I'm calling her over and over and over and over and over. I sent her a picture showing it's a felony. Why will you not stop harassing me? I'll text her. Maybe that'll help. Boom. What are you guys talking about? Are you guys like seeing a different story that's happening? She literally impersonated one of my moderators and was changing around all the settings behind the scenes, trying to drive me crazy while I'm trying to grieve the loss of my grandmother. Guys, this is the best way to shave. Personally, I think that if you swipe up like that, that's the best way to shave. I usually use like a motorized razor. So for me, it's usually like more like this. But nice. I don't speak Spanish, so I'm not sure what they said. But yeah, I was just showing you guys like some of my, like when I used to use a straight razor. You try to make all one swipe.
Moreover, he is also an extremely disgusting person who likes to expose himself during YouTube lives. A creator by the name of Priestley Sage 666 actually made a lot of videos on him, exposing some of the key moments where he exhibited chilling madness. We're about to show you one such video. We don't know what he's trying to achieve here, but let's just say it's the most disgusting thing we discovered while researching this guy.
So 9% out of 22 is still enough. WQB. I won. I won again. And I baited you guys into that once again. Now I know how many people are here actively indeterrent of me. From that Sage 666. From that Sage 666. Oh, right now? Cool. Alright, well, you haven't stopped. You will, Priestly Sage 666, you will be, oh, how are you streaming? Oh, that's how I could beat them. I just have to stream without a shirt on, because they can't stream that on TikTok. Here you go. Oh, there's my backside. Am I going to pull it down? Am I going to pull it down? Am I going to pull it down? No. We figured out how to beat them. All I got to do is stream like this.
And guess what? This guy actually has an excuse for exposing himself on camera to so many underage people. It's just bizarre.
I actually hurt my neck. Like, she committed such a horrendous act against me and against my moderator that out of sheer frustration. That's why, like, I didn't know what to do. I actually hurt my neck in that rage. I could, cause like that's why I'm glad I got it the second half of it out in push-ups. I didn't know what to do, cause I can't say what I want to say at that point. But I just put the holy water on myself, reminded of my baptism and everything, and was able to calm myself down by the grace of the Lord. No, I can't let any more out. I'm like hurting at this point. I'm good now. I'm like, I got it all out, is what I mean. Thanks for being here, though. That was crazy. Like,
so apparently it's not actually his fault for doing something so absurd on live. It's everybody else's fault as usual. According to Little QB, people should have stopped him, or at least said something to him so that he would have taken his live down before doing it. The fact that he thinks his psychopath, creepy actions are everyone else's responsibility is honestly laughable. He's a grown man, almost 30 years old, who doesn't have enough sense in him to know that he shouldn't have exposed himself like this during live stream. And even after doing it, he thinks it was not his fault. With Little QB, for whatever reason, it's always someone else's mistake. It's either the underage age who gave him his number, or his ex-mod who is not picking up his call only to get verbally used. Moreover, as you may have guessed from the previous video, he's a pretty disgusting person. But wait, because there's more. On top of everything else, Little QB has taken things to an entirely new level of disturbing by admitting that he continued talking to someone who is under 18, someone he even referred to as his girlfriend.
Like, when I asked her out, like, blocked me. So, yeah. But I'm actually considering her my girlfriend as of now. But I can't say who because I want to respect her privacy and everything, so I'm just not going to say who.
This revelation is not only incredibly unsettling, but it also shows just how far he's willing to go in justifying his actions, regardless of the harm they may cause. In his mind, this kind of behavior seems acceptable, or at the very least something he's proud of, as if he's excused from societal norms and ethical boundaries. For someone to proudly admit such a thing is beyond alarming. It's a blatant disregard for the law, for common decency, and for the safety of those involved. But for QB, this isn't a moment of shame or reflection. It's another piece of the twisted persona he's created to feed his ego and his perverse desires. But things took an even darker turn when his actions started to come out in the open. Even though his TikTok accounts and live chats were being taken down consistently, it looked like there was no end to his behavior. On the contrary, his behavior was becoming more and more erratic, especially when people started paying close attention to him. For instance, look at this video of him.
He could potentially have, I don't know, like, who knows, because we don't know what actually happened, like, we don't know. But I would say most likely yes, but It's only up to God to judge. We can't even say if Judas is in hell. So I'd say like 99.999999999999999999999999999.
It's painfully clear from his behavior in this video and countless others that QB has completely lost touch with reality. At this point, it's hard to imagine any hope for someone like him. He seems deeply entrenched in his twisted mindset, showing no sign of understanding or even caring about the difference between right and wrong. His actions are not just troubling, they reveal a person who has spiraled so far into chaos that redemption feels nearly impossible. When things started spiraling out of control, people decided to take matters into their own hands. A lot of creators actually made it their personal mission to call this guy out and expose all of his vile actions to the world. At this point, there was no doubt that people were keeping a close look at him and his online activity.
Mark 16:15 states as follows: Go out and spread the gospel to all creatures.
The mirror, I feel like Arthur Morgan, smoking cigarillos, I imported. White suit, white horse, brown boy imported. Wanna live like me? 1, 2, 3, you can't afford it. Got the 45 on my hip, I wear a sword.
Slim Shady, brain dead like Jim Brady. I'm an M80, do little like that Kim lady. I'm buzzing, dirty dozen, naughty rock rhymer. Cursing at you players worse than Marty Schottenheimer. You whacking in the you get your style from. You ain't gonna sell 2 copies if you press a double album. Admit it. We'll be coming out in the open. I'm doing acid, crack, smack, coke, and smoking dope then. My name is Marshall Mathers, I'm an alcoholic. Hi, Marshall. I have a disease and they don't know what to call it. Better hide your wallet, cause I'm coming up quick to strip your cash. Wanna take it to your concert just to come to whip your ass. I'm coming out swinging so fast that'll make your eyes spin. You get knocked up like Mike Tyson. The proof is in the pudding. This assets don't hold me. I spit your mother don't work, they Ron Goldman. When you see me on your block with 2 Glocks screaming the world like Tupac.
You would think that all the backlash he's received would make him stop and reflect, perhaps regain some semblance of sanity, or at the very least exercise a bit more caution. But no, it did the exact opposite. Instead of taking accountability or rethinking his actions, it seems the backlash only fueled his downward spiral, pushing him further into a pit of hopelessness and irrationality. This when a creator by the name of Tyler the Titan decided to step in this chaos and ask Little QB to come on live with him.
Hello, Brett. My name is Tyler. Yesterday I made a video directed at you about some of the statements that you've been making. And after a whopping 24 hours, the video gets pulled and I get a strike. Which got me thinking, why make videos? Why go back and forth through videos? Why not host a live Saturday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time where you come in and we talk about your statements, what's wrong with your statements, and your belief systems. I mean, so far you have been pretty open and loud about your belief system and how you mean it with your whole ass chest and how you don't see any issues with it, and you've even started throwing around the word hypotheticals to try and cover yourself. It's a smart move. Manipulation tactic, I get it. But those don't work on me, so how about 2 grown men, right around the same age, on different sides of the fence when it comes to this topic? Have a conversation. But just sit and talk. You've got 114,000 followers. I have 117,000 followers. It should be a pretty eventful live. The guy who goes after us, and the man who everybody is calling about currently. What do you say? This is a prime opportunity. I have never given anyone this opportunity. Normally I call them out, we burn their accounts to the ground, and I make a couple of phone calls and they end up with a mugshot. But it's not often I catch someone out in the live, in the wilderness, spouting off the things that you are currently spouting off. I'd love to talk about it. Respectful conversation. There won't be any yelling, there won't be any screaming. I don't work that way. Just you, me, and whoever else decides they want to hop in that evening. having a discussion about why I believe your beliefs are gross and skewed, and why you believe that they are not. I look forward to your response. I really do. You have a wonderful...
According to a comment under this video, Tyler the Titan, who is wildly loved by many and highly feared on TikTok by child predators and convicted pedophiles because of his resolve and dedication to working with law enforcement to facilitate charges or simply get them off the app to protect children, makes his famous tagline video, "Hi, I am Tyler." Anyways, invited Brett to come on live with him and discuss his views man to man. However, since Tyler has a reputation for calling out creepy predators on TikTok, Little QB did not appear on this live and stayed silent with his tail between his legs. Although Brett did not come to the live, another creator like Thomas the Villain Bishop did come to his live and got the word out about Little QB's behavior and disturbing actions. Another creator who decided to call Brett out was Priestly Sage 666.
Shut up! Shut up!
Nah, I don't think I will.
QB did appear on a lot of live stream with him, and we are shortly going to show you guys one of the most chaotic live streams of Sage and QB. After seeing everything Little QB has done, Priestly Sage decided to organize a panel and invited him to a live chat, aiming to confront him about every ridiculous and harmful thing he's said and done. However, as expected, things didn't go as planned. True to form, Little QB was completely unwilling to take accountability. Instead of reflecting on his actions, he stubbornly refused to accept even the possibility that he might be in the wrong. It was as if the very idea of acknowledging his mistakes was too much of a burden for his fragile ego to handle. So when he felt cornered during the live chat, he did what he's best at, lashing out and creating a scene for no reason.
Down. Take this live down, I swear to God. You take this live down! Take this live down! I swear to God, you mother... You'll pay! You'll pay! You'll pay!
We're gonna pay.
I hope somebody's recording this.
I hope somebody was.
Are you getting this?
Little QB started shouting and raging mid-live stream. He also started talking about his grandmother's death yet again.
How many grandmas do you have? How many grandmas you got?
I have two. One of them died before I was born.
Died so far. You said the
Oh my God, what is wrong with you? She died on Tuesday. Her burial is literally in 2 days. I got my suit fitted today. What is wrong with you people? She just died. What is wrong with you people? She didn't. She just died 2 days ago. Oh, oh my goodness.
You seem very.
Take this live down. Take this live down. I swear to God. You take this live down. Take this live down. I swear to God, you mother. You'll pay. You'll pay. You'll pay. Told me she was 18. I talked to her on my life for 3 months under that false idea that she was 18. I stopped talking to her. I literally thought she was going through a mental health crisis, so that's why I made other accounts to try to reach out. Then when she said she was serious, I never contacted her again. I've never been arrested. That's a fake news story. You all go to hell. I hope you all rot in hell. I hope you all rot in hell. I hope you all...
It seems like every vile thing he's ever done is somehow tied back to the fact that his grandmother passed away. This is textbook behavior we've seen in countless degenerates. They latch onto one tragic event from their past and use it as a shield, repeatedly bringing it up again to gain sympathy and deflect blame. It's their go-to excuse, as if one personal loss can somehow justify a lifetime of abhorrent actions. Besides Tyler and Priestly Sage, countless other individuals have called out Little QB for his disturbing behavior, including Thomas the Villain Bishop. Thomas made an entire video dedicated to exposing Little QB for his numerous crimes and predatory actions. In this video, Thomas didn't hold back, delving deep into the horrific things Little QB has done and the way he's manipulated and preyed on his vulnerable audience.
So here is something we're not doing in 2024. Okay? We are no longer listening to grown men try to lawyer up a way to with children. We're not doing it. I'm terribly sorry, but that's not happening anymore. And when it comes across myself or other people's attention, we're going to expose you. So, congratulations. Here's the attention you ordered, with free midnight shipping, and next day delivery.
To at least be like 14/15 to be on the low. I said what I said, standing on business. We're just talking about biology here. And biology dictates that a young woman aged around 14 to 15 to 19 is nearly identical to or identical to an adult woman. We're purely talking hypotheticals.
The fact that your grown thought this would be a good idea to make a video out of, and the fact that it's still sitting there, the fact that you have a whole account, yeah, that's disturbing, but not unusual, since this social media application is dog and guys like you get away with like this. But I'm sorry, it's now come to my attention, and unfortunately for you, I have a big mouth and I ain't got nothing to lose. Nothing. The fact that you standing on business, as you say, talking about the biology of teenagers, yeah, we're not gonna have that, dog. Yeah, that's gonna be a no-go at this station, Ghost Rider. A no-go. So I want you to enjoy the fact that this now has my attention. I want you to enjoy the fact of everything and everyone that'll be coming by and saying hi to you, just to make sure you see them. And I need you to understand something. We ain't playing with y'all no more. No. This was cute when it was never cute. But you guys thought y'all could get it off, you know, last year, year before. Yeah, we're not having it anymore. Sorry, we're not. Anytime something like this comes across my damn radar, it's gonna get exposed. Go ahead and report it for harassment and bullying. I'm not even fighting it. I'm just sending this shit over to IG and maybe Facebook. I might even make a YouTube short out of this. Yeah. With your name prominent all over. See, disgusting ass men like you should not be allowed to, you know.
Despite all the calls for accountability, Little QB continues to act as though he is untouchable, ignoring the growing chorus of voices urging him to stop. Thomas's video brought even more attention to the ongoing issue, showing how Little QB's actions have not only harmed individuals, but also created a toxic environment for everyone around him. It's not just about pointing out his mistakes anymore. It's about holding him responsible for the damage he has caused to the young people he's manipulated and to the countless others who have had to witness his disturbing behavior. People like Thomas and others who've exposed him are crucial in shining a light on the true extent of his depravity. Little QB, on the other hand, was not having any of it. Like we said before, it is impossible to hold this guy accountable for anything because, yes, he is that delusional. To make matters worse, he actually appeared online and said some of the most disturbing things that you can think of. He accused all the people who called him out, including Priestley Sage. He also said all of these people were trying to kill him. However, at the same time, wishing that Sage will die. It's a pretty alarming video, even for Little QB standard. Just see for yourself.
Boo! Suck my... Boo! Look at the way you react. Yes! Because you want me to kill myself. Okay? I'm done reacting how you want me to react. Right? You think I'm gonna react in a normal way? I hope that Priestley Sage 666 kills himself. I hope that Echo kills themselves. I hope that, what's her name? Whatever that, she's name, Mia's, whatever that what's name is. I hope she kills herself. What do you mean you care how I'm gonna react? What? I'm lost. I'm completely under duress. This is a cry for help.
Despite everything Little QB has done, he's still posting, and his accounts are still up. It's both disturbing and perplexing that someone with such a blatant disregard for the well-being of others can continue to have a platform to spread his toxic behavior. In a world where social media has the power to amplify voices, it's chilling that platforms hadn't taken stronger action against him. His disturbing actions, such as manipulating young people, making vile and racist remarks, and justifying predatory behavior, should be enough for any platform to take immediate and decisive action. Yet, here he is, still operating freely.
What's up, y'all? In case you don't know, I got swatted 7 times this year. The police told me to make new accounts, but the haters kept following me on the new accounts, so I just kept having to stack them up. I have like over 20 now. Here's a list of all of them. I don't go live on here, but I go live on the other ones. They're all unique and focus on different topics, and that will evolve over time. Also, I need new mods. Let me know. DM me. Bye!
People like Little QB are dangerous because they prey on vulnerability. They have an almost terrifying ability to manipulate others, especially younger individuals who are still figuring out the complexities of the world around them. He's not just a lone wolf in his depravity, he has an audience, some of whom may even view him as a role model. This is what makes him so dangerous. His reach, though small in comparison to larger influencers, still impacts real lives. And the harm caused isn't just physical. It can be emotional, psychological, and long-lasting. It's vital to acknowledge the power of social media in shaping narratives and influencing behavior, especially when it's in the hands of individuals who have no regard for the law, morality, or the well-being of others. People like Little QB thrive in these spaces where accountability is often lax and actions can go unchecked.
I will not be spoken to like that, especially not in my own classroom. Now, you're blessed that my phone's charging right now, so I have to do this while I'm sitting, but I do